What's up guys, my name is Michael and I'm back today with a video about it's my favorite Fuji lens. It's the 23 1.4. So why has this become my favorite lens? I think it's mostly because of the angle of view that you get with this lens. It's a 35mm equivalent if you compare it to full frame, which is a focal length that you can use for almost everything. And it has soon become my favorite lens because it's a little wider than the 35, which compares to 50. And I'm more of a wide angle guy. So the longest focal length that I own for my Fuji system right now is 56, which is not really a long focal length, but it shows you that I'm more a wide angle guy. So I like this one more than the 35. The aperture is adjusted like on almost all the Fuji lenses on this dial right here. And it goes from 1.4 all the way to 16, and there's also an automatic setting if you prefer to shoot in that. It focuses really quickly, and if you like to do zone focusing, you can pull here and do a manual focus, which of course is not translated directly in the lens, but it's communicated right over these electronic contacts, and the camera will move the autofocus motor to where you place this this ring. And the beauty is that you can read the depth of field right on the lens, where it shows you the F numbers, the aperture numbers, and you can read to where your depth of field is going to be. So let me show you that real quick. I'm going to adjust my focus to, let's say, to the area of 2 or 3 meters, which is right here. And if I choose to go to f16, my focus area will be from 1 meter to infinity, which is awesome if you like to do street photography with this lens and you don't want to autofocus everything. You can set it to this place, go to f16, and you know what you're gonna have in focus. Really awesome. You can save a lot of time putting it in a calculator, and just on the street, wherever you are, you know where your focus is gonna be and what your focus range is gonna be. So I like this capability really a lot. And the good thing is, if I put the autofocus maybe even to infinity and I pull this to the front, I have the autofocus on. If I go here, I know my focus will be at infinity just like that. So autofocus, infinity. Really awesome trick. That's why I like this lens. Aperture 1.4 is of course better than Aperture 2, because there is a second version of this lens which has just Aperture 2. I know Aperture 2 is still a really bright lens, but if you compare it, it's one f-stop, which means this one gives you double the light, which means half the shutter speed, or same shutter speed but half the ISO. So I know high ISO noise is not that much of an issue in the Fuji system, but it is an issue in every system, so let's keep the ISO down. And that's why I took this lens. Another thing, if you compare this to the F2 version, this one is much heavier, it's bigger, and it's not weather sealed. To be honest, I was thinking about that a lot, and I came to the conclusion that I don't need weather sealing. I'm not shooting in the rain. If it's raining heavily, I will be inside. Listen to yourself. Are you gonna shoot in rain? I know it's nice to have, and it's half the price. So I think if you go for the F2 version, you're gonna have a great lens as well. I went with the f1.4 version, and I'm really happy with that lens, so decide whatever you want. So what are the topics that I will use this lens for? As I told you, I use it for street photography a lot, but I also like to use it for documentary photography. So if you are on an event, on a wedding, whatever it is, documentary style photography is really great focal length to use that for. You can also use it for landscape, you can use it for portraiture, of course, why not? The last wedding I shot, for example, I had all my lenses with me, which are the 14, the 23, the 35, and the 56. And at the end of the day, I discovered that I took 0 images with the 35, and I took maybe like 10 images with the 14. I realized that I took almost all the pictures with the 23. And I think it's because it's such a common focal length, and you know what you're gonna get pretty soon. So you get used to this focal length really quickly, and you could use it as your only lens. So that's another statement that I wanted to make. If I would just have one lens, it would be this one. It's so awesome. I like the image quality, I like the aperture, I like the focusing capabilities that I told you, and I like the angle of view that you get from this lens. So that's my recommendation. Let me close that video with images I shot with that lens. I hope you enjoy watching them. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up, please. Hit subscribe. See you next time. Goodbye.